Antonio, the Knicks and Spurs get underway at 8:30, then head north for Game 3 in New York on Monday. Tickets are now on sale exclusively through Ticketmaster for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K at Hammock Beach Golf Resort and Spa, Friday through Saturday, October 9th through 11th. It's 85 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Pump. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
The NFL work week opened this past Monday with the Browns trading Myles Garrett to the Rams, the Eagles trading A.J. Brown to the Patriots, and now the Bears might move to Hammond, Indiana. The month of June is supposed to be a quiet month for the National Football League, but it's been anything but that.
Yeah, the NFL knows how to keep us talking about them. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah.
I
don't know how. I don't feel good about that. You know, I mean, I get it's been done and all the, like
the Bears you're talking about.
Yeah, the New York teams play New Jersey, technically.
Yeah,
they're not in New York, I don't know. To take it out of I get you can't find a place in the city, fine. But Arlington Heights, by the way, I was born in Arlington Heights.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that, but
Fun fact.
Used to party there, too, at the horse track. That was fun facts, plural, because we went there plenty of times.
Which is the place it will be if it is in Arlington Heights.
Yeah.
Where that old horse track was.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Why can't they tear down Soldier Field, move out for a few years, and rebuild where Soldier Field is?
They don't want to because I've talked about this on air. It sucks for game day. It really does. There's no bars around it. There's no parking around it. There's no place to tailgate around it. It just isn't functional, and they want to do kind of what the Battery has done, like when it comes to building bars and restaurants and music venues, and they want a whole entertainment district around the stadium, and there's absolutely no possible way to do that where it is right now.
Kind of like Patriot Place.
Yeah, like Foxborough has, right. And then the Eagles, actually, Philadelphia has something like that,
similar,
too, that I've been to.
We will, too, eventually, I bet.
And and the one where I went in Philadelphia, there wasn't like a whole strip of them. It was like one kind of sports entertainment building.
Area.
But
well,
like
all
with
of their four
places.
major sports are also like bam, 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 bam. So they have everything's right. Yeah. But yeah, that's part of it. They want to build like a whole entertainment district and want it to be just not go there for game day, leave. They want it to get people, and obviously the off season to still go and spend money around that, and kind of go to the team store and do stuff like that. And they want it to be a whole experience rather than just like go to the game and leave, which right now it is. There's just no possible way. Like if you've been to Soldier Field, you walk out, there's museums right there, there's a park, there's a highway, there's no room whatsoever to build anything like that. There's only even one tailgating area that you can actually go to. Everything else, you're literally having to cross over the highway to get even to Soldier Field.
So why not Arlington Heights? I don't know the answer. Do you know the answer?
What it sounds like is it's money, taxes. Obviously, the taxes in Illinois are way more expensive than in Hammond, Indiana. So they feel like they're going to be able to have better in Indiana because they're going to save money not worrying about the taxes. They haven't agreed on certain things when it comes to the taxes. Like the Bears are trying to avoid, I can't remember exactly the details of it, but they're trying to get out of one of the certain taxes. They feel like they shouldn't have to pay this one tax, and the state of Illinois is not agreeing to that. So they've been battling that back and forth.
But then the Indiana taxpayers would have to agree to this?
Yeah, which they have already. Indiana's side of everything has agreed. They have the place, they have the all the money and logistics and everything. Everything is fully ready for the Bears. Like they could move in tomorrow and start building the stadium if they wanted to. Arlington Heights, the area they already bought. Like the Bears have owned that piece of land for a long time, the former horse racetrack. And they've already even torn stuff down and like kind of started cleaning out like the area and making it to where, because eventually that was kind of said, this is where it's going to be. And then the state legislative and all of that starts getting involved, and nothing could be agreed on. I mean, obviously you went through that here for a while too, of just trying to agree of how much is going to be taken out of taxes and who's paying this much and who's paying this much. And a part of it too, I think could be a piece is the McCaskies are not Shad Khan and aren't multi-billionaires, and they don't have the money to put as much as Shad Khan's able to put into it. I think that's a part of it too.
Sure.
So I think there's a lot of reasons that when it comes to why this has kind of been a battle back and forth. And I mean, Hammond's like, we're here. Like, we're 25 minutes away from downtown. You can see the skyline from where we are. It's an easy trip. There's a train straight to us. Like, we have all the logistics ready. Let's go.
I wonder if they're getting state funding because, that's one thing with Florida. You didn't get any state funding. Well, there'd be 3, teams you'd have to, and other sports as well.
And people smarter than us obviously understand because we don't have the state income tax, right? So that's where you're also not then going to get that funding.
Which is significant.
Absolutely.
I mean, Tennessee got like $500 million towards their stadium from the state of Tennessee. So I don't know what Illinois is like or Indiana's like. I wonder if that plays a role in that, but whatever.
The public saga is what I think is disturbing for fans, right? Like at some point, you just want to know where's the stadium going to be. And here, that's why we did get lucky that the Jaguars team and the city council and the mayor, they all decided and agreed. Obviously, Lot J was messy publicly.
Yeah,
it was.
But the actual stadium part of things wasn't smoothly, at least from the public side.
I think, right?
Yeah, when it was time to make that decision, and that is. A lot of Bears fans are to that point where they're just like, decide and figure it out. Like, you need a new stadium. That is part of it. I mean, look, I love Soldier Field because it's on the lake and you get the lake effect.
It's
and
downtown.
the wind. You're building a dome anyway, so that wouldn't have mattered. You're not talking about lake effect when you're inside anymore. So that's part of it too. I think that it's going
maybe
to
the first 4,000-yard passer in a dome.
Yeah, maybe if you're not having to throw into 40-mile-per-hour winds 9 times a year. But I feel like it's messy. It's been messy. It's been this back and forth of, it's honestly, at the end of this, it's going to be a situation. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up in Indiana, and it's going to be a big deal, and there's going to be jokes about Hammond Bears and Indiana Bears, whatever the case may be.
Where they started, right? The initial one in
It was
Hammond?
it was in Northwest Indiana, and then
funny.
before they were became the Chicago Bears.
But
it was
Hallis owned
Decatur
them, I think,
after
right?
that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Is Hammond, Indiana, a city that people would visit normally?
No, it's not, and I think they're probably trying to make it that as a part of it. Hammond's
it's
like,
not far,
this is
though,
it's
from downtown.
truly 20, 25 minutes maybe.
But Arlington Heights is already more of a tourist destination.
No, it's also just like a suburb. It's like
it's a big suburb.
Arlington Heights is kind of almost like Nocatee-ish too. Like it's like the Nocatee almost of Jacksonville. Like
everyone has
especially now. Now it's a little bit more wealthy. A lot of people that live in Arlington Heights. But same thing. Like there's a train straight to Arlington Heights. The commute. It is a little farther actually. It's about 45 minutes to drive to Arlington Heights. So it's a little farther than what Hammond, Indiana is. But it's going to be a big deal because it's going to be all the jokes about, Hammond Bears and whatever the case may be. And it's going to, I feel like eventually that's going to go away. Eventually it's going to be like, okay, it's still the Chicago Bears. It's right there. People that don't know and they fly into Midway or O'Hare or whatever, and they're just going to a game and you drive 20 minutes to go to the stadium. You're not going to you won't even notice you're leaving Illinois. Like it's that close. It's right there.
Yeah, you
it's across
see
the water.
skyline and whatnot. I mean, look, the Jets left Shea Stadium. I bet you most people listening to the show forget that. They actually played in New York. So, you'll forget about it.
It's
I know
multi-billion-dollar stadiums that's what people are going for now.
No, right.
And you can't create that in certain places.
The dome for Chicago Bears.
I know, I don't love it either.
I know, look, like you said, the winds, it is, but
that's bear weather, and that I don't. That's what I'm almost more upset about that than I am Hammond, Indiana, because I think that's one of we talk about like home field advantage. That was part of the home field advantage. Like this last year, you look at the playoffs. Brandon McManus for the Packers missed 2 kicks because he's not used to kicking into that wind, and Cairo's hitting a 50-yard straight into the wind because he's used to kicking there. And those are like the elements to me. I love the elements. And we talked about that late, and I was kind of by myself on this in certain situations when it comes to like the Denver game, and I was like, I love that. I love that certain games have that weather element that affect it. And so it's going to be weird. And like Indianapolis, they have a retractable. So I wish they were doing that so you can, because September, October, November, and honestly most of December you'd probably keep it open and maybe close it on super rainy days or if it's a snowstorm or whatever the case may be.
By the way, Brandon McManus lost his job recently because
as he should.
No relation.
The Packers,
none. There's no blood. Nothing.
Packers drafted Trey Smack out of the University of Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who has talked about how he's trained with Cam Little, and Trey Smack fashions himself in that Cam Little world as far as being able to kick really, really far field goals.
Sorry, I hope
That's a whole
sucks.
nother
Yeah.
Sure.
Hope he misses
Well, it's
every
nice
field
that our
goal.
Jags didn't have these issues, you know?
Yeah, and that's
a
what.
good
Do you
thing.
know how much that would have dominated 1010XL's
Oh, it would have been
airwaves?
Oh my
everything.
gosh! Can you imagine if they're going over the border to Georgia? Like, let's just say
and
Kingsland was like, "Hey, we'll build you something here."
And do you know how much they would have been made fun of? Although obviously the whole London thing, we already went.
There was
through
a little
the
bit of that,
Jaguars
yeah.
That's
leaving,
right,
but
that's
that was to another entire continent.
Yeah.
So yeah, we understand that part of things.
Yeah, and I like with that one too. It's like the team's only been around 30 years, so it's like, man, you couldn't even keep your team 30 years. You know, it's like the Bears have been around over 100 years. They're one of the oldest teams in the NFL, and so a lot of the time they've played in the city of actual downtown Chicago.
We still got the Bears, you got the Hawks, and you got the Cubbies, and the White
and
Sox.
none of them are close either. That's what's funny. Like we talked about Philly, everything is right there.
Right.
Wrigley's way north. You got the White Sox on the south side. The Hawks play on the west side. They're all so spread out, so it's not even like you had this sports district anyways.
You wish you could go back to like the early 1900s when they were starting to build some of these places.
Yeah,
Probably like
put them a little
30s and 40s, and everything. I think would be much more like how Philadelphia is with all the major sports teams plus the entertainment district. And Foxborough, the reason they were able to do it is because there's nothing in Foxborough, right? Like if they were called the Boston Patriots and they moved from Boston, right? But if they were still called that and they moved from Boston to Foxborough, people would have made fun of them for, even though it's the same state, but they still would have made fun of them like you're no longer the Boston Patriots.
Yeah.
Well, I feel that way about the Dolphins. They're not
they
in
don't
Miami.
play in Miami.
You know, we played in the Orange Bowl a couple of times in college. It was like unbelievable, like epic. This is holy cow. This is a orange one. Now, granted, they had to redo the whole thing.
Yeah,
it ended up being getting old and dumpy. But you know, they're in Lauderdale. I don't know. I don't. You know, they're still Miami Dolphins, and I'm sure Dolphin fans don't feel this way. But on the outside looking in, I'm like, you're like the Lauderdale Dolphins. You know what I mean? It just seems weird. But again, New York, the New York teams pull it off.
Yeah. Tampa Bay Rays don't play in Tampa Bay. There's plenty of teams that don't play in the city of what they're named.
Sounds like they might.
They might,
At some point in time, which is good because otherwise they should have been the St. Petersburg.
Yeah, they just need to make a decision at the end of the day because it's like the same conversations you had here of there's so many things you can do once you have that new stadium. That's what everyone's looking forward to. You also just want to have it in your head. Okay, this is what it's going to be like. Then you start getting the renderings and people will get excited because it's going to be this big thing, this whole entertainment district that now you have 20 minutes outside of the city.
You could have done that in Arlington Heights and it would have crushed
could have, and that was the plan there also. It's just Illinois government can't figure it out. But this governor's always going to be known as the governor that lost the Bears, and that's going to be tattooed on him forever now. Yeah.
He's
definitely not getting reelected.
Yeah, well, from the text line
alive in a week.
Or alive.
Lifetime closures brought to you. Our 641-1010. Chicago deserves to lose the Bears, overtaxed and poorly run. So lots of people are chiming in on the text line. My wife's from San Francisco, and she complains all the time that they're in San Francisco, but they're really in Santa Clara.
They are
the 49ers.
in Santa Clara,
yeah. So it's obviously it's spread out.
Candlestick was, iconic.
Yeah.
Like, that was an incredible stadium.
Yeah.
A lot of great games out of that stadium. Then you go to Santa Clara, like a little Sally, like, okay, it's a beautiful stadium.
Right.
Get everything you want, but we're not really in the city anymore. I just think it's awesome when you can see the skyline. You're in the city, like you're representing that city. Like,
and then people would laugh about our skyline and be like, Jacksonville
get a
has a skyline. Yeah.
Get one first before you can comment.
Another one, Tampa Bay isn't a city. Tampa is a city.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay Rays.
Wow, aren't you smart?
Well, it's just on the bay. There's a bay in Tampa.
So
exactly.
tricky.
Tampa Bay. That's what they do during the games. I hate it.
There's a lot of comments coming in, and I understand it's a hotbed topic because, again, we've been through something like this, but we are fortunate, and that's why I wanted to discuss it, to get your expertise and obviously how you feel about it being from up there, but also to remind people, to show people how grateful we should all be that we don't even have to think about it.
No.
Yeah. And grateful for Shad Khan because that's a massive part. I don't know if the Bears would be in this situation if they had a Shad Khan at the top.
That's right. Yeah. He's putting in a ton of cash.
And he has since he's been the owner.
Absolutely.
Has the team always been successful? No. But look at what happened this past year, right?
He's invested big time into the city.
Absolutely.
Big time.
And 13-5 if that can build.
Let's go, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Blend
You
into
add
more
wins
Light
points
the
to that.
match.
Right. We just have to get through one city in Orlando. They'll call us the Orlando Jaguars for one
a
city
year.
And then back to the stadium of the
Hopefully
future.
they don't win that year because that'll be the most Jacks thing to happen.
I'm okay if they win it all. Even
I mean,
in
it's
Orlando.
great, but it would be like, of course, they moved to Orlando and win the Super Bowl. Yeah.
It was funny during those press conferences. Mayor Donna Deegan was like looking right at the Orlando City Council and their group of people that helped put the Jaguars there for a year. And she's like, this is just on land, and we're still doing Duval. We're not changing this in any way, shape, or form. All right, more to do on the other side. We'll keep the football conversation going. You were listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Big radio.
The biggest, man.
1010XL.
The biggest of them all.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Bowden Iron Associates. Helmets and Heels Friday.
Dinner tonight? Make it easy and make it something everyone will love. With the Flame Broiler Family Meal Plan, you can feed 4 fast with fresh, flavorful options. You get 20 ounces of your choice of protein. Mix and match your favorites, plus steamed rice and a fresh veggie medley. It's a complete no-stress meal the whole family can agree on, starting at just $34.99. Skip the cooking tonight. Bring the family together and stop by any of Flame Broiler's 5 locations today.
Take a walk on the wild side and step into the great outdoors.
Look at this beast.
Captain Kevin and Captain Kirk join Jeff Lageman every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on the Nimnit Outdoors Show.
You got it.
On 1010XL.
Hey, I know how awful it is to get injured, but never due to someone else's negligence like many of you. Tom McManus here. If this speaks to you directly, you got to check out Morgan & Morgan. Largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. Guess what? They don't get a single dime unless you do. A proven track record with backup. That's hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect. Get paid. Dial pound law on your cell or check out forthepeople.com.
Prosser here. Get those boats ready. The Dailies Old School Kingfish Shootout presented by Yellowfin is almost here. Coming up Saturday, June 13th. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com to find out more. The grand prize, a 21-foot Yellowfin hybrid boat worth $130,000. And with limited boundaries, no live bait buying, and no checkout, it's seriously old school fishing. That's why we call it the Old School Kingfish Tournament. Here's how you do it. Go online, sign up. You become part of what's always a terrific tournament. It's Old School Kingfish Shootout. oldschoolkingfish.com.
In Jacksonville, we love our sports. You might say we flip out over them. Football, baseball, soccer, hockey, basketball, golf, and there's our outdoor game, fishing, surfing, and just chilling. There's so much to do, it will make your head spin. But keep your cap on because Visit Jacksonville has you covered. Check out visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jax app and stay on the ball for all the upcoming sports events in Jax. Go local, go sports. Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida.
It's time to fire up the grill with this week's specials from Houston's Meat Company. Get 10 pounds of fresh jumbo chicken wings for just $19.95. Fresh made in-house ground beef, only $3.99 a pound. And whole packed boneless ribeye loins, just $12.95 a pound, sliced free. Big quality, big savings, and local service you can count on. For over 50 years, Jacksonville's trusted butcher shop has been Houston's Meat Company, North Main Street at 295.
What if your next fun day out costs just $70 to play all day? That's exactly what you get at the Battalion Airsoft Arena, the only indoor airsoft battlefield in Jax. Skip the same old boring entertainment choices and step into real action with your crew. Perfect for birthdays, company team building, graduation parties, or just epic weekend fun. No experience? No problem. The Battalion package includes everything: gun, mask, and ammo with unlimited play. So lock in your mission now at BattalionAirsoftArena.com.
Hicken here. See clearly with the Eye Associates and trusted optometrists Zachary Boskool and Alice LaFlamme. From comprehensive eye exams, dry eye care, glaucoma management, diabetic eye care, and more, Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme are dedicated to protecting your vision. Immediate availability at all 5 Jacksonville locations. Schedule today with Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme by calling the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD at 296-0098.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to Helmets and Heels on this Friday afternoon. Some weeks just seem longer than others. Maybe because last week was a short week. This week has felt long to me.
No, not to me.
Okay, good.
I don't
Glad
think,
to hear
I don't
that.
think
like,
so.
I'm good.
Yeah, no, it's Friday. My Friday started, after 4 o'clock yesterday. So
Yeah, it's been your Friday already.
it's been Friday, so it's a good day.
That's very true. You've
Beautiful
had
weather.
a nice long Friday. This in from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. According to reality, the Jaguars were 13-4 last year, which makes sense because there are only 17 regular season games. I understand they were 0-1 in the postseason, but nobody adds those games together.
We do.
Yeah.
13-5.
The
biggest loss
was
you had
the most
was
important
they're
loss.
13-5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your season ended because you couldn't win that other one.
Right.
It's
I
a
mean,
loss.
Remember the year that the Dolphins went undefeated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk
add that
about
together?
the whole, yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not being salty. I'm just I'm just
Yeah,
saying
it's
that's
okay
why
to
we
be a little
say
salty.
that's why we say
Yeah.
13-5 on our show. Other shows may say 13-4.
Right.
That's perfectly fine.
13-4 in the regular season, but the full season, they were 13-5.
That's how, yes,
That's how-
exactly. That's how I think about it.
Mhm.
When it comes to the news surrounding Florida, I feel like, as far as recruiting,
Mhm.
I feel like we talked about it just a little bit yesterday. I feel like it's something that should be entirely shocking to people. Like the Texas A&M being up there and recruiting, Miami, Notre Dame, those types of schools, Oklahoma, they all had successful seasons last year.
Mhm.
The fact that Florida is near the top after a 4-8 campaign, and I get like the switch from Billy Napier to John Sumrall, there's excitement, but that's excitement within the fan base.
Yeah.
How on earth is he getting recruits to say things like, I belong here, the culture here is unbelievable? Like Florida had all of those resources under Billy Napier. Look at all the coaches that he had. I just feel like there's got to be something within John Sumrall that is drawing these people in, and it's just surprising to me.
He's magnetic.
Yeah, absolutely. Two more
He's gotta
commitments
be.
today.
Yeah, he's got to be that kind of personality that you just kind of you're drawn to, as somebody that you want to coach you, and your parents want him to coach your kid, and it's that kind of personality and environment he's bringing. I mean, look, Florida's beautiful. Like if you go to Florida, on a visit, you're seeing you're like, yeah, this is awesome. I'd love to.
But so's Athens.
Yeah,
and
no, I know.
There's been more
There's
success
others.
in Athens.
There's others, but then it comes after that. Then what? Then it's the connection with the coach,
Yeah.
and it's a connection with how you feel. You're going to fit in with how they're going to coach, and it sounds like he's got a way that these kids are resonating with that want to be coached by him. At least for now. You never know in college ball, right? But at least the initial draw is, hey, I like his attitude. I like him just from watching him. I can tell he's my kind of coach. He's going to be no frills, but he's also going to celebrate you when you do well. And that kind of stuff's contagious, man.
Yeah.
And once a couple of recruits go and then they start talking and then they
Then there's
talk.
a buzz,
Then
yeah.
there's, hey, this Coach Sumrall, man. Hey, why'd you go to Florida? Well, this coach is, man, you should hear what he's saying. And I like the guys and I like what they're doing down there. And, everything's great. It's top of the line and playing in the SEC and we're going to turn it around. And, that kind of
Do you
stuff.
want to be
see
remembered?
how
To be the
that could
team
grow.
that was able to get Florida back to the prominence.
Yeah.
that
and
it
that's
once
part
held.
of it. Yeah. Come join
You can
me
be what
and bring us
rejuvenates
back.
this fan base who needs it a lot when it comes to the football
Totally.
side of things. And that's what I think that he's clearly done a great job. And so there's a lot of things that John Sumrall has clearly been able to convince and show. And you haven't even played a game yet. So this is all just words right now of, hey, this is my plan. And, kind of that type of thing. It also, I think, is a even bigger tell of Billy Napier, of how bad maybe he really was in a certain way, because we talk about the on-field stuff, but also the number of high school kids that come out of Florida. We talk about it all the time. It's Florida and Texas and Georgia seem to be the highest amount of kids that come out of Florida and end up going to the NFL. Yep. And you're in the middle of that hotbed of players, and you haven't been able to get a bunch of those for a while. And now all of a sudden, not saying all these kids are from Florida, but there has been a decent amount where he started to win those guys over, and that's really important because you have a Miami team that was just in the national championship.
Exactly.
Florida State's on the down, so take advantage of that right now. And if they're not going, if you can convince them to leave Miami, that's great. But if not, at least you feel like right now you can win that battle at least against Florida State. And so I think it's good for that program. And like you said, you got to win once the games start being played in September. You need to see that on the field, and then it can drastically change if you're not winning. But
if Florida loses to FAU to start the season, and I'm not joking about that. Florida lost to USF last season.
Yeah.
Obviously, we went down for the game. It was torture.
Yeah.
To lose the way that they did. So that's the thing. Like, yes, you have to show that you are more than just a good recruiter.
Because they don't sign the paper until December. So they have until these kids are committing, and they have until December to sign on that dotted line and make that decision. So you want to be able to play the games and win games and prove that what you're saying you're backing up on the field. And
please don't have 2 number 3s out there on special teams to start the season.
Don't want those little mistakes and embarrassing things. Like, that's embarrassing when things like that are happening on a college football team.
Yeah, listen, it feels a lot like Liam's accountability is Summerall's accountability.
And they know each other.
Yeah,
obviously.
no, they had some time. They bought each other. He bought his house, or
Summerall, I think, bought
cross
Liam's
paths
house
in Kentucky or something, right? So you just could tell he's got that account, and sometimes that's all it takes. And look, all these young, old, it doesn't matter. We all want some structure. We know the Wild Wild West is fun for stats, and maybe you look good individually, but normally you don't win many games that way. And at the end of the day, you want to play well, you want the accolades, but you want to win.
And it's a team sport.
Yeah, you want to go to a coach that that you feel like is going to help you get there. So I get the buzz. Now he's going to have to back it up, like you said. I mean, you gotta start off strong. You got to show that, hey, Florida football is back, and it's back, and it's good. Look, I hope Florida State gets back. I know a lot of people probably don't care. A lot do.
Oh yeah,
but I do for college ball. I think Miami, Florida, and Florida State should be 3 of the top programs in all of college football. But top 10, top 15, whatever. But they all should be. Yeah. There's so much talent in this state. You should never let it walk out the door. I know it does happen. It's going to happen. But man, there's so much talent. You should be able to keep it around.
I think that's why I'm just honestly in shock that it's happening, is because there is a school down south, and we all know the best football players in Florida come from somewhere close to Miami. There's good ones up here too.
Yeah.
But there's a much higher concentration down in South Florida. And Miami, with what they were able to accomplish last year, with what Mario Cristobal has built there.
Yeah. By the way, they pay.
And they do pay, right? Yeah. And Florida's getting there, but they obviously have been a school that has had Steven Ruiz to be able to give huge contributions for NIL dollars. They just went to the national championship, and yes, they're at the top of the recruiting too. But how in the world is John Summerall, for instance, able to get today was a 4-star defensive lineman, Karan Wheeler. He's 6'5", 266 pounds. He's from actually Maryland, so not from Florida. But still, let's say they were both battling to be able to get someone from, and it's not just between Florida and Miami, but it's just crazy to me to think that you're able to get any players away from a Miami or a Georgia right now.
Yeah. But, going from Maryland to Gainesville would be pretty awesome, as far as weather and everything like that.
Yeah, you're in Florida.
I would be more concerned about Penn State and Ohio State grabbing that kid. You know what I mean? Are they doing that? But listen, it's a great pitch. It is. I mean, look, I can only imagine if you came to my house, you want to go to Florida, be like, what? Yeah. And then after the visit, are you serious? I get to go to school here? This is crazy. But it is. It's not, and I know a lot of schools are like that now. Georgia's like that. Miami, all the schools pretty much are like that now, where they've got all the facilities and they got everything in place.
The recruiting budgets too. That was a thing.
All of that stuff.
Several years ago, I know Denny Thompson would talk about that because he's much more in that high school, obviously football world.
Totally.
And Georgia's budget to recruit was way larger than Florida's. And Kirby was using that budget, obviously, and look at what he's built there. And look, I think too, yes, Gainesville is an alluring place. The swamp is great. But there are so many other programs now that do pay money that you don't have to just go to a school that has tradition, right? You can go.
No, that's
but
that's
you can go
for
to
all
Texas Tech and get paid, which obviously is not in the SEC.
Yeah, and I think that.
By the way, way to go, Texas beating Texas Tech last night in the Women's College World Series.
There you go.
Thank you very much for sweeping them. They won 4-1 last night and won the national championship. I just had to get that in there.
I think that when it comes to the coaching staff is huge too. The staff that John Summerall has been able to build.
Phil Troutwine is earning every dollar.
And that's what I was like, that is such a big thing too, because those guys obviously have connections. That's helping you recruit too. When you already have players and you have relationships and you obviously have done things in other schools that people have paid attention to. And so I think that's a big thing. And I remember when we talked to Maddie Hudak, who's the sideline reporter for Tulane, and she was talking about that's one of the things she said was how good he is at building a staff, and that she was super confident that was going to be one of the biggest selling points for John Summerall of, being able to recruit, is that's just one of the things he's best at. And so, I mean, we're seeing it firsthand.
Yeah. Well, and look, the initial is the recruiting coach, and when you develop a bond with that, the
position coach,
it's hard to say no. Whoever it is, whoever the coach is, you develop that relationship at that young age. You start looking up to them, you start really liking them, and you want to go with them. If everything else falls into place. Listen. There was a guy for Northwestern. First of all, I love the head coach, Francis Pay, but Mike Van Jost was his name, and he was their recruiting coordinator. And now Northwestern was 0-11, so they were not a good team. And the pitch was, hey, come and help build it back. Yeah. They grabbed a bunch of guys from my area. They're trying to, and I really liked them.
The pitch.
I loved them. They came to my house multiple times. My parents loved them, everything. My dad's like, hey, it's up to you. But, and then BC came out of nowhere, and they offered me right away, like the recruiting coordinator, on the very first phone call. And I was like blown away. I was like, my gut just said yes. Yeah.
So if Northwestern had offered you before Boston College?
They never officially offered me, but they kept saying I would have a tough decision. But I like I said, my parents went to Florida, so if they would have stayed.
You wanted to get away a little bit anyways?
I did. Yeah, I was ready to fly. I'm the youngest. I've seen it all. I was in my crazy household, I saw everything. I was ready to go spread my wings and go check, the other side of the country out. But my point is, so I could see guys getting attached to Troutwine and other these coaches. And, hey, come to Florida. Let us show you what it's all about. Wait till you meet Coach Summerall. You're going to love what he's building. We want you to be a part of it. And then you get down there and it's just awesome. And I can see how there's an allure is what I'm getting at. Now, Georgia has it too. Oh, yeah. Other schools have it too. I'm not saying Florida's the only one, but I can see what, from an outsider looking in, why young men would be interested in playing at University of Florida.
I'm looking through the recent recruits, and there's a couple from Georgia. Obviously, we mentioned the one from Maryland, several, obviously, Florida. You're always going to have a ton of Florida. And so, like I said, I sat back and thought about it it is unbelievable what he's doing. And yes, we have to wait and see how the season plays out, and then this conversation will be completely different. But to be able to pull these recruits, these 4-star recruits, sometimes 3, but a lot of 4-star recruits, to a place where, from the outsider's perspective, the stadium's old, even though it fits a lot of people, the stadium's old. And the program has become what people call a sleeping giant. Yeah. Typically, teenagers don't want to go to the sleeping giant. They want to go to the Giants because they don't care about where you've been. They care about what's happening right now. And so it just, like I said, I wanted to...
The climb, the uphill climb.
And it is, right, for sure. All right, more to do on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, Tintin XL, 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts. It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, enhanced by Bowden Iron Associates.
Today's vehicles are smarter than ever, but that also means they need more precision than ever. Features like lane assist, collision warning, and adaptive cruise control all rely on cameras, sensors, part of what's called ADAS. And if those systems are even slightly off, they might not work correctly. That's why, after certain repairs, your vehicle will need ADAS calibration. At G&H Tires and Service, they have the ADAS system, so your vehicle's safety features work the way they're supposed to. Don't guess with your safety. G&H Tires and Service. Precision that protects.
Hello,
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Hacker here for Cornerstone Interior Solutions. If your AC is working overtime every summer, your insulation may be the problem. Homeowners and builders across Northeast Florida are calling Cornerstone to upgrade to spray foam insulation. It seals homes, crawl spaces, garages, blocking in cool air and blocking out heat. So your home stays cooler, your system runs easier, and your energy bills stay under control. Don't wait for peak heat. Visit CornerstoneInteriorSolutions.com.
Let's go! Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole group can enjoy? Discover the thrill of Sharks football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. This week, it's Christmas in June. Be one of the first 2,000 fans and receive a free hat, courtesy of Fat Cat Tattoo. Get out of the heat and into the arena. This Saturday, June 6th, kickoff, 7 o'clock, and tickets start at just $15. Wear your favorite ugly sweater, Santa hat, or any holiday gear you can find. Let's sing some carols, have some fun, and watch some exciting Sharks football. Bring the whole crew and try our family pack. Get 4 tickets and $50 in food or merchandise vouchers for only $100. Join us on the field after the game for our free autograph session, sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. Tickets start at just $15. To get yours, call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made. Go Sharks!
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to make sure your property is ready. Weak, damaged, or overgrown trees can become a serious hazard when storms move in. Trust the experts at Lucas Tree Service with over 45 years of experience for professional tree trimming, removal, and storm preparation. Don't wait until a storm is on its way. Schedule your tree assessment today at lucastreeservice.com.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Taylor Dahl, Atomic Menace, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you, cruising through this Friday afternoon. So I saw a video, someone that I've gotten to meet before was at this thing in Nashville. And right now, CMA Fest is going on up in Nashville.
Yeah.
And so on the stage was Hardy playing guitar. And then the singer of Little Big Town, Karen Fairchild, was up there.
Cool.
And then Lainey Wilson, Miranda Lambert, and Ella Langley were all on stage singing a Little Big Town song. And I was like, someone I know actually got to see this in person.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
unbelievable.
Cool. Heck yeah.
So freaking
Bunch
cool.
of stars there, man.
Yeah, and you can tell just
and
having
off
a
the
good
cuff,
time.
yeah,
And
yeah.
really good time.
Yeah, no doubt.
I also saw a video of Gretchen Wilson singing her big song, Here for the Party, and Ella Langley was joining her in that one too, which is so much fun.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And to pick up the show, put it in Nashville just for this week. Well, lots of weeks. The Jags play there too. Yeah, it would be just an absolute blast.
Yeah, and the talent up there is unreal. Like if you've been up there, like just
You go on a Wednesday at
bands.
11 a.m.
Yeah.
They're unreal. They sound just like the
From
artist.
morning to night, every
Yeah.
place you go to, you're like,
Yeah.
man.
There was one, I think it was Kid Rock's. He had like 5 floors,
Yeah.
and every floor had a different theme.
Yeah.
And every theme was like spot on. It'd be country. It'd be like a crooner. It'd be like hard rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Every
put
one
like
of
the
them
main
just
band down on
unbelievable.
the bottom level at Kid
Yeah.
Rock, and then they have the 2 floors there, and then upstairs
Unreal.
they have another band, and then outside upstairs they
Yeah.
have another band. And literally, for someone like me who just is obsessed with country music,
Yeah.
I'm like, I
They
don't
sound
ever want
just
to
like-
leave.
yeah.
These people are so good, and they know deep cuts of songs too. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not knocking local bands by any means. Our local bands are great, but there's a lot of bands you'll go up to and be like, all right, I've got, here's 20 or whatever,
Yeah.
and be like, I want to hear this song, and it's not necessarily the most popular song, and the band's like, sorry, we don't know that one, we can't do it.
Yeah.
I feel like in Nashville,
Yeah.
you
Well, they're
can
like
literally
open.
make-
Hey,
yeah,
request whatever. Just tip
Exactly.
us and we'll play anything. I don't
Right.
think I've ever heard them be like, oh, we can't do this one. We
Right.
don't know it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And
No,
I've been
they
told that
gotta
a lot
know it.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
You
not.
come up to me, I'm like, nah. We don't. Get out.
The Dad Bods does not take requests.
We don't take
Speaking of the Dad Bods, playing on Sunday.
Sunday afternoon, yeah, at Monkey's Uncle in Jacks Beach, 3 o'clock to 7 p.m. Little afternoon
Perfect.
show.
Perfect dad bod time.
Perfect, Dad. We'll be in bed by 8:30, man. It's gonna be great.
How many shirts will you go through?
I went through a lot on last Saturday.
And
I
you were
went
indoors.
through indoors. I went through 4. I think
So 1 an hour.
I think I went home with my 5th. That was dry. Yeah, well, and it's
Not
funny.
often.
Nobody else is sweating. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
They're
I'm
like, what
you're
are
the
you
only
doing?
one running around acting like an idiot.
You're the front man.
Yeah, you got to be the front man.
That's what you're supposed to
You got to
do.
give the energy, right? So yeah, it'll be fun. We'll play a bunch. We're gonna play some tunes that we haven't played in a while, and but we're gonna play our whole set. We got like 4 sets of songs. We're gonna play them all.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a ton.
Yeah. Well, it's 4 hours, so we gotta fill the time.
Some bands take like 30-minute breaks,
Yeah.
so it doesn't end up being that much
we
music.
probably take like 15. I don't like taking big breaks. I like changing my shirt and getting some dry clothes on my upper body and drying off. But other than that, I want to get kind of back into it.
Yeah.
You know
Next
what I
I
mean?
can see that.
before you're like 6 beers deep at the bar, you're like, I don't know.
Can't
I don't remember the song.
words. How does this song go again? Yeah, I know, but it's just the momentum and everything. You know,
Sure.
kind of get cold. You know, it's almost like playing sports. You know, you're out there running around, and then you take a break, and then you get cold,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, I got to warm up again, kind of thing.
That happens to me with my workouts. Obviously, like working out not obviously, but I work out at home. And so I'm also multitasking and working too. So sometimes I'll have to stop in the middle of it. And then, I get
Do a
that.
text or right.
I get to that point and I'm like, do I really want to finish this? And,
Yeah.
it's that whole
no.
like, I'm kind of over it.
It's crazy. If I get interrupted in my workout, it just screws everything. So that's why a lot of times I won't answer.
Right.
Or I won't even look. I'll keep it in my shorts. I'll look later. And then if it's like any family member, then I call back right away. But normally it's not. But yeah, it'll screw up the momentum. It'll screw up
If
the
I get
flow.
a certain work email, then I have to stop.
How
and
those
I'm-
workouts going? You getting in
I
them
have
yet?
not started, no.
You got the gym
I
at your
know.
place.
I've been like looking at them and I'm like, man, I really need to do this. I honestly was talking to a friend last night. I feel like if I get someone to do it with me, I'm more likely
There
because
you
they'll
go.
hold
Hold
me
accountable.
accountable. And so one of my friends already, like she's there, she's always doing something. She'll do different work. She's more of like goes to like different programs like Orange Theory for a little bit or like different ones
Okay.
like that.
Yeah,
So I
jump
was talking to her last night, like, would you do this with me? Because if you do it and hold me accountable, I'm more likely to do it. And she was like, let's go. So
There you go.
we're getting closer to me starting.
Itching.
We're getting closer.
Inching
Did we
closer.
ever get your workout out there
I don't
for
think
people?
so.
I started making the graphic. I was going to do it when I
gotta do
start
it
it,
again.
so
I
I
should
can be
look at
like,
it again.
Okay.
yeah.
Before and after picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before, after the
There you
workout.
go.
Speaking of working out, my cousin right now, at least as of this morning, is #1 in her age group in the High Rocks competition in New York. And so the age group is, I'm not even going to say actually, but it's over 40. Let's just say that.
High rocks?
High Rocks. And so that
climbing?
is, no, it's basically a combination of hybrid rock stars is how they formed the word for
Okay.
this. But think of kind of like CrossFit is kind of what it is, but it goes like this: 1 kilometer run and then an exercise, then a kilometer run, then an exercise, and you do that 8 times. So the
Whoa.
exercises are things like the ski erg, the rower, but up above you, and then sled push, sled pull, lunges with a sandbag, wall balls. That's one of them.
How far is the kilometer?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What's it called? I don't know. I honestly was like, what is that? I thought
That's 8 miles. That'd be a lot. They couldn't be a mile each time.
It
That would
is
be rough.
0.62 miles.
Wow, that's over a half
So a little
mile.
over half a mile of a run.
That's 4 mile run.
Yeah.
Or 4 miles of running, I mean.
Right. So it's 1,000 meter ski erg. So 1,000 meters. That takes a little while. Then you run, then the sled push, then you run, sled pull, then you run, then 80 meters of burpee broad jumps. This obviously was created over in like England.
burpees.
They're using, I know.
Yeah.
Then you
Uses
run,
kilometers.
then 1,000-meter rower. Then you run, then 200-meter farmer's carry with weights, of course. And then you run the 100 meters of sandbag lunges. Then you run, then 100 wall balls. Like you think
What's
you're
a
almost
farmer's carry?
It's just when you have weights down by your side on each arm.
Like
and-
buckets.
So
I was thinking fireman's carry where you got to hold something over
farmer's
here.
carry. So it's kind of like farmers carrying stuff. That's obviously where they get it from, but usually very heavy weights out in with those. And so that's the individual one that she competed in. And then tomorrow
She's first.
She's first in her age group for this weekend. She said she's hoping there's a few more people that were, I guess, competing today. She's hoping to finish top 3.
Is that the thing that's on TV? Like it's there's like 10 deep of, they got the bars and the weights and it's inside a track. Is that the same thing? No,
It's not.
No.
At least I don't think so. I don't think it's made it to TV yet.
Okay.
And like I said, it must have been created in like London or something because of the metric system. But
That's great that people like doing that. That's fantastic.
That's great for them.
I'm really happy for them.
so now she's in the amateur part of things, and then she and then one of her friends are doing tomorrow like the pro doubles. So that takes all the weights that whatever it was today, the amount of weights, it's much heavier.
Let me tell you some burpees / up downs and full pads when you were a kid was the worst exercise you ever had to do.
I'm sure.
It was brutal.
I still do burpees.
I can't
but
stand burpees.
I've never done them with full pads.
No,
on.
I'm never doing them.
I'll
never have to do them again.
Did you see the girl, by the way, that's doing rowing by herself from California to Hawaii? She's aiming to be the first
by
female
herself, soloist.
Yeah, I'm watching her updates and it's stressing me out because she's like, oh, there's gonna be 14-foot waves tonight, and you obviously can't see anything like during the daytime, obviously, but at night I'm like, I can't imagine pitch black, waves crazy. You don't know what creatures are out there.
How long will it take her? Did it say?
I'm not totally
There
sure.
were 2 girls on the horse's mouth that did that. They went together. Yeah, they went from California to Hawaii and made it. I forget how much time, but I don't know how.
No, it's crazy.
Man, where do you put all the throw up?
Oh, goodness.
I mean, seriously, 14-foot waves.
I know.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I'm not going
And then she was like,
outside.
at one point, she was like, yeah, I saw there was a sea lion or something eating a shark last night when I was in. And I'm like, no.
Wow.
Turning around. I'm going home.
That's adventurous.
Yeah. So she departed from Monterey on May 21st, 2026. She's definitely still pretty far away, so I don't know. It doesn't say how long it's expecting her.
yourself.
Seems
Yeah.
like
2,400 miles is how far it is.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
thanks.
I was like, that is. Some people just live a very different lifestyle.
Yeah, that's what
than
they
me.
want to do. They go for it. Walk around.
Yeah, I thought I was an adventurer just going fishing last Sunday in a smaller boat when the seas weren't completely flat by any means.
I was
But,
shrimping yesterday at the Jumbo
right.
That was my outdoor activity.
I was Thirsty Thursday.
It was very fun, but we got there a little late, and I'm dog house sitting, so I had to go check on the dogs and all that. So we got there a little late. We walked in the third inning and they were already down 6-0. So that it wasn't,
buzzkill.
Not the best when it comes to the game, but it's always a good time at the Jumbo Shrimp games. It's so much fun. Yeah. And Thirsty Thursday's wild.
Yeah, but they're back at it tonight. Friday fireworks.
Oh, cool.
Well, if fireworks are allowed, I don't even know that part right now. But Friday night, head to the ballpark for sure. All right, Tom's takeaways on the other side. It's Helmets and Heels, 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Hayes Carline and Ryan O'Halloran are bringing opinion, insight, and edge with the lead.
4 to 6, Friday afternoons on 1010 XL.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jacksonville. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Fountain Iron Associates.
Friday.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay and Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust. Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, this is Tony from Tony D's New York Pizza. You believe I've been making pizza here in Jacksonville for over 20 years? Thanks for the support and good times. We appreciate your business, and we're looking forward to another 20 years. Come out and see us at Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The weather is heating up, and it's time to drop a line in the water. Gear up today at Green Acres Sporting Goods, Jacksonville's fishing headquarters. From Shimano and Penn Reels to Zoom baits and much more for saltwater and freshwater fishing. They've got everything you need to land the big one. And when your gear needs work, trust their expert rod and reel repair to keep you casting like new. Stop by Green Acres today or shop online at greenacresporting.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Just before we get to Tom's take, we were talking about this artist in the break. Sienna Spiro, I believe is how you say it. Spiro. She's British, and she has an unbelievable voice. I heard one of her songs for the first time this week, and I really thought it was like a combination of Adele and Amy Winehouse. So if you like those types of singers, Sienna Spiro, her first album ever, comes out July 3rd called Visitor. But yeah, she has a really retro look to her too, like as if she's a woman from the 60s or 70s. And her voice is unbelievable.
Yeah, you played a little bit in the break. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Once I hear a voice like that, like I can't forget it, you know?
Good tune there coming in, RJ.
And yes, absolutely. I was going to say that too.
You heard me singing that earlier, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good ear.
He just follows you around and listens to what you
He's
sing.
got a good ear. I got to watch what I'm saying around him. I don't know.
I'm going to start singing songs around the building too. See what happens.
Yeah.
Exactly. Perfect. All right. Now time for Tom's take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com. Or dial #law. That's all.
All right, my take on this beautiful Friday afternoon, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan for thepeople.com, is I'm looking forward to next week's 3-day minicamp. And two guys that I'm going to keep my eye on are the new defensive tackles in Albert Regis and Rook Row.
Well done.
Thank you very much. And the reason being is I think these guys have the opportunity to play a pivotal role in this interior of the defense, whether they're spelling or whether they're starting from time to time, playing roles in the nickel or dime package, but getting that penetration from the interior defensive line position. They're not power guys, they're movement guys. Now, they're powerful, they're plenty big enough, but their game is speed, quickness, and moves. And although they won't be full speed on the line of scrimmage, they'll be full speed enough where you can at least see if they got a little juice with the movement and getting to that quarterback. Obviously, they're going to have to stop the run. We're not going to know if they can do that until the pads are on. But we can see a little bit of shake and bake getting to the quarterback, and that's what I want to see out of these two guys and see if they are going to be a fit for our defense in 2026. And that's my take today, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan on your cell at Pound Law. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important. We've talked so much about the interior defensive line, and you have to have a plan coming up. Even right now, you like Eric Armstead and Devon Hamilton. They both, when it comes to last year when Eric was healthy and back inside and Dickerson. But the miss on Mason Smith, the miss on some of the interior pieces that you've tried to be ready to build and develop for the future, just haven't really worked out. So you want to hit on some of those because it is important. We've talked so much about how much those guys on the inside can help those edge rushers on the outside, and you just haven't had that in a while. And I feel like we have had this conversation about the defensive line for years now of just needing that. And so it's going to be fun to watch them. I think BJ Green is somebody I feel like watching a lot too, because we've talked about that depth, that pass rush, and what it's going to look like beyond Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. And so I think the defensive line is going to be fun to watch. And like you said, it's not like we're full on contact and, anything like that. But you can see, Yeah.
I was just going to say, think about this. So if you get one of these defensive tackles I just mentioned to be this pass rush and somewhat force, and you get a great year and a healthy year out of Eric Armstead, and you're a nickel, right? And then you keep Trayvon on the outside. Now, what's the flexibility? I move Trayvon on the inside. I put BJ Green or one of the other four guys that are trying out for that position. So it's like, think about if those work out and the different packages and confusion you can bring. And not only that, that's just your front four. Now you're bringing backers up, you're bringing safeties up. Now everyone's like, holy beep, who's coming? And I better be ready because these guys can all rush. And if you can figure that out, now you're talking about a defense that'll suffocate an offense.
And to both of your points, I'll be watching Wesley Williams and Zach Durfee. Because
definitely.
Obviously those rookies all around. Is Nate Borkature back out doing the team stuff, right? How good does Tanner Koziol look? And Emmanuel Pregnon, the size, all that stuff. I tend to watch, though, more skill position players when it comes to these types of workouts until we get to the training camp and when pads actually go on. But there's a lot of guys that are vying for these positions.
Big time.
That's where when people ask the question, is this year's roster better than last year's? Because you didn't go as far as you wanted to last year. Whether you want to say 13-4 or 13-5, regardless, you didn't win a game in the postseason. But is it going to be harder to make this year's roster than it was last year? That's, I think the answer is yes, but that's, I think, what they certainly were focused on building this offseason.
It's going to be harder to make it, but are they better is to be determined.
Absolutely.
You'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but I agreed on the tight ends. We know what we're going to get on Strange. We know what Morris can do, but those two young guys, let's see them. And it's not the blocking. It's getting off that line of scrimmage, getting into the route and seeing if you can get some separation and make some plays in a passing game.
Absolutely.
You're going to make a bet week one that Borkature has a touchdown?
I did with Hunter
I know,
Long.
you got it. You hit it last year.
I did.
Also, Travis Hunter, just watching him even go through the mental reps, but also just the way he is on the field is a lot of fun. And then the backup quarterback spot, I know it's not the most important position necessarily to make the roster, but it is fun to watch those other guys kind of battle it out.
Yeah, and the young receivers, we got to see them, I don't think Cameron's going to be out there. Is he? He was limited.
Cameron, yes.
Limited last
Has
OTA.
still been limited
was still
with the
kind of
ankle
limited.
injury.
So.
But yeah, CJ Williams.
CJ's had a nice so far. I mean, he's made some plays, so Hopefully he can
Trammell
continue.
time.
Yeah, Trammell. That's right.
Trammell might be on the outside looking in.
never know.
We shall see. All right, more to do on the other side, including Lauren's Lane. It's 10 to Next on 2.5 FM.
No, I like baseball. I just never understood how you guys can spend so much time discussing it. I mean, I've been to games, but I don't memorize who played third base for Pittsburgh in 1960.
Don Ho. Feature.
1010XL.
See, that's exactly what I mean.
Buying a home with a septic system? Then there's one step you absolutely cannot skip, the inspection. Know for sure before you close. Call Duck Duck Rooter, Northeast Florida's only master septic contractor with the experience to inspect your system the right way, so there are no surprises later. Right now, take $50 off a full septic system inspection, including a detailed report. The small step that can save you from a big mistake.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Hey, Tommy Mack here. When it comes to glass, you don't want average, man. You want flawless. And Duval Glass and Mirror has been flawless with homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that will wow you. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to our Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. Only one name around here for Glass and Mirror, and it's Duval.
Helmets and Heels Friday
is brightened by Bowden Iron Associates.
This is Hacker, and I'm a firm believer in the power of a floral arrangement delivery from the experts at Kuhn Flowers. It's just like magic. Why not surprise your best friend today? On the phone, in person, or online? Kuhn Flowers does it all.
Former Gator Patrick Young pours out orange and blue passion with Hacker on the Gator Bites podcast.
Patrick Young, turn the light.
Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Fridays on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Right now at Beard's Diamonds, pay $0 down and get 0 interest financing for 5 whole years. Yes, you heard it right. That $12,000 designer engagement ring is yours for just $200 a month. This makes everything affordable. How about a $6,000 diamond eternity band, just $100 a month? Say goodbye to high interest rates. Get the relief you deserve at Beard's Diamonds. But hurry, this incredible offer ends June 30th and will not be extended. How about a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, only $50 a month? Make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 down and 0 interest financing. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, colored gemstone jewelry. Let the non-commission experts at Beards help you find the perfect piece of jewelry and take advantage of our best financing offer ever. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center, Jacksonville's premier locally owned jeweler. Shop now and enjoy 0 interest financing for 5 years. Hurry, this amazing offer ends June 30th. On approved credit, some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors. Hear the unmistakable sound of legendary guitarist and vocalist Tom Kiefer of Cinderella. Friday, June 12th at Florida Theater. Tom Kiefer of Cinderella. With special guest, L.A. Guns. Hear all the hits. Get tickets now at the Florida Theater box office and floridatheater.com. Produced by
the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
I'm Chris Wayne with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. The Jaguars head to mandatory minicamp at the Miller Electric Center next week. Stay connected to 1010XL on air and online for news, updates, interviews, and exclusive footage. The 82nd Annual Tax Slayer Gator Bowl will be played Wednesday, December 30th at 11:30 a.m., televised nationally on ESPN and broadcast live on 1010XL. It's 85 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
There's a place off Ocean Avenue where I used to sit and talk with you. We were both 16 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night.
Were you singing Yellow Card earlier today?
No Yellow Card, but that's a great tune.
It is. This was on our bands that are from here.
Totally.
When we were celebrating artists from Jacksonville or with ties to Jacksonville.
That's right. Yeah, they're definitely from here. They're a good band. They're still rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bands are hard.
Yeah.
I mean, to be relevant, you know, I mean, you can be a one-hit wonder, and if you hit it and it makes a ton of money and you're fine and whatever, but to stay relevant, that's why like these bands like the Stones are just gonna go on tour again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Aerosmith, like all these bands that stay together.
Some of them
so
take
hard.
long breaks, and then you'll see like the Eagles, people split up to do solo careers because everybody, it seems like you would know better than us since you've been in a band, but it seems like there's a lot of egos that go on.
Well, for the Eagle, like they had literally like out of the 5 guys, like 3 to 4 could really sing, right? You know what I mean? So, and I do think I hope my band's not listening, but I think they all want to sing. Like everybody wants to sing.
Everyone wants
and
to be
I'm
the
fine
front.
with it. Like, go ahead, sing. Like,
Yeah.
I can't play nothing. Give me a tambourine. You know, maybe I can whack it. Yeah. But maybe that's part of it. You know, people just want to be singers, I guess.
Did you ever think about learning to play an instrument? And I don't mean growing up. I mean since you've been in
I've
the
tried
band.
the acoustic guitar. I still have trouble. I strum it at home. And actually, you know what's funny? The dogs love when I strum the
That's
guitar.
so
They
cute.
literally lie down next to me and just totally chill.
Aw.
I don't
The
know if that's a good thing or bad. Like, you know what I mean? Does it sound terrible or
Yeah.
sound soothing
Yeah.
or whatever? But yeah, I'll sit there and just play with it kind of thing. But I tell you what, for me,
The guitar.
if you had to pick, like, who to be, lead sing is great, but I think that lead guitar, if you can wail on that guitar and do like wicked, long, awesome solos, that's got to be pretty awesome.
For
and the
sure.
drummer too, like drumming's
school. I
drum's
am
so
always
cool.
impressed when, like, for instance, Morgan Wallen can play the piano.
Yeah,
Like, you just
sure.
don't expect that. And
Yeah.
obviously, there was a point in time with like the Billy Joels and Elton Johns where
Yeah.
like that was a huge
Started
part
with-
of the
yeah,
show,
right, yeah.
And now I feel like artists have gone away from the piano, so I always like that part too.
I always think it's the drummers that can sing also blow my mind because it's already so much. You're
Right.
using your feet, your hands,
Yeah.
and then now
Phil
you're also
Collins. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
wild. One of my favorite bands, Under Oath, that I get to see next week, the drummer sings quite a
Sings?
bit.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
and
cool.
he's also one of the best drummers. He's absolutely fantastic. But
Yeah.
it's so wild to see him. I'm like, I've never been able to drum because my mind won't let my feet and hands like do separate things, and so I could never. Even on rock
Yeah.
band back in the day, I'm like, I
Yeah.
couldn't ever get the feet down, like the
Our
pedal.
drummer rocks. I mean, he's pretty good, man. He's really good, I should say. So yeah, so drum would be cool too. Bass, they say is the glue. Like you got to have a really good bass player. So you know
But
they all
do the
matter.
bass players get the chicks like the lead guitarists do, or the singers?
Well,
or the
let's
drummers?
see. Motley Crue's bass player was it was Nikki Sixx. I think he got plenty of action.
I'm sure he did.
I think he wrote a book
Sure
about
he-
it.
yeah.
Actually.
I just feel like the ladies
So-
don't
Basses
like
get the
flock
lovin'
to the-
too.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Never been a bass player.
True.
So,
Yeah, they
wouldn't
like
know.
the ones that shred. All right, so let's get into Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
In men's basketball, Florida will play host to Duke in the SEC ACC Challenge. That is December 1st. That is the first time that Florida will host Duke Since 1937.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So last year, obviously, Florida played at Duke, lost by 1 point, 67 to 66. The good part for Florida is they returned 6 of their top 7 scorers from last year's team. I was looking at the box score because what I didn't remember was how many players Todd Golden actually put out on the court. Just 7.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Was that
later
early in the season?
It was early, yeah. But it's interesting because later in the season, he started to play a lot more guys to keep his legs fresh, but only 7 guys played
Was it
that
Duke,
day.
then Arizona, or was it Arizona last year?
Last year was Arizona.
Then Duke.
And then Duke.
Because they played Arizona really tight, too.
Yes,
didn't
very
they?
tight. Yeah, that was to tip off the season. That was in Vegas right after the Jaguars were in Vegas.
Yeah.
And then
That's
Duke was
right.
a little bit later because at that point in time, Duke had reached 9-0 and Florida had fallen to 5-3, which was a huge conversation. Like, well, Todd Golden's team's not going to do much this year.
Yeah. And I mean, to lose by 1, though, on the road when that you haven't even found your, like, that was at the point where they're still trying to figure out, like, okay, we can't score. You know, we're not hitting the threes that we were last year. So how do we adjust it?
Because Xavier Lee only had 4 points.
Oh, wow.
4
Yeah, they
points.
struggled. I
Every
remember
other player that scored a point is back on Florida's team this year.
Yeah.
And then obviously you'll add Denzel Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Duke, I was looking at John Shire's squad. Try that 3 times fast. He returns Caden Boozer, of course, the brother of Cameron Boozer. He returns Caleb Foster, who's been in the league a while, or at least in college basketball a while. And then center Patrick Gungba, a projected first-round pick in 2027. And then they added Wisconsin transfer guard John Blackwell, who last year averaged over 19 points, over 5 rebounds, and 2.3 assists, while shooting nearly 39% from 3.
Wow.
And obviously Todd's added the international players to the roster too. But I can only imagine how expensive those tickets are going to be on the resale market.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, if you buy Florida men's basketball season tickets, if you're going to go to more than one game or several of the games, I should say, that's probably the way to go. Or then you could maybe sell just those tickets for a quite
get your
pretty
season.
penny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
for
if
real.
they have a big year like they're expecting, they're going to be like a pro team. They're going to be superstars. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be like, people are going to want to watch
And that's how
that
it was
team
last
and go
year,
see that
really,
team.
because they had already won the national championship.
Yeah.
Florida does play Miami early in the season in November down in Tampa. And I know for the Gator fans and/or Canes fans, the pre-sale is happening now. So if you want to go to that game, you can.
You said
certainly
those
get
are
your
pricey?
tickets. The courtside are super pricey.
Yeah, right,
There's very reasonable tickets elsewhere, but I was telling
Where is it
y'all-
at?
I'm assuming it's at Amalie Arena.
Okay.
Would be my guess.
There where they play the hockey?
Yeah. The hockey.
Someone told me recently
I
that
saw
it's...
ECDC in there. They were incredible.
Oh, yeah. Someone told me recently that it's no longer called Amalie Arena.
I
did
don't
not know that.
I just
Haven't
know that's
been in
where
a
the
while.
Lightning play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
I've been for
arena.
a few hockey games. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
On the bay.
Yeah, right there.
Tampa Bay.
On the bay.
That is that city incorporated. I'll check on exactly where that is. But then also wanted to let people know Florida baseball landed its first transfer portal player. A commitment from John Emberry, who was the ASUN Player of the Year. He was at Florida Gulf Coast, so we always talk about the mid-major guys moving on up. As a sophomore last season, he batted .364, had 13 doubles, 17 home runs, and drove in 60 runs. He recorded a team-best OPS of 1.084 and a .655 slugging percentage.
Nice. What position does he play?
He is a catcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So impressive stuff there, and I'm sure you'll
What a
see
move
over the
up for
next.
him.
Yeah, but you'll see over the next few weeks, there will be big time named players from the biggest schools that are exiting. And the transfer portal, that's the hard part, just like with college football, like we talk about. NCAA baseball tournaments going on starting today, right? Or not just starting today, but super regional starting today. And the transfer portal is open. So these guys, and while playing, have to decide, assuming they're not graduating or out of eligibility, they have to decide if they want to stay at their school or which school they'd like to go to.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of the West Virginia game earlier, and they were up 8-0 or something when I was watching it earlier. But Pat McAfee was there, and he was sitting right behind home plate. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, if they go on to the World Series, do you know how many Jello shots Pat McAfee is about to buy?
No kidding. No kidding. After what he did for the Olympic hockey team, right, in Miami.
That'll be a fun conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so now it is Amalie Arena, except it's no longer called that now. It is called Benchmark International Arena, but it is the same thing,
There you
home
go.
to the hockey, the Lightning.
The hockey.
Yeah,
You know
the Lightning. Speaking of the hockey, were you watching last night? No, you were probably.
I wasn't. I watched a little bit after, but
Okay.
yeah, I was at the shrimp game, so I missed some of it. But that game was wild. Honestly, I thought Vegas had it in the bag, and I was like, oh, Vegas, man, they're going to end up sweeping this series. And then I check when I get to the bar, and I was like, holy crap. And I think I ended up walking into the bar like in overtime, right when overtime was starting. So it was perfect.
They went 3-1 in the fourth quarter, I think, right? Then they scored 3 goals.
Yeah, the Hurricanes scored 3 in the third, then it went into OT, and they
all I saw was OT and then 4-3.
Yeah, they were down. I mean, they came back strong, so.
I
They
love-
needed that one.
Oh, big
That's
time.
like tonight. I think San Antonio needs that.
I was going to say. Yep. Let's talk a little hoops on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
You say a lot of offensive things, and occasionally you are real funny.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
You're such a disappointing pair.
They are The Drill.
I prayed so hard for you.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Great. Thanks for coming.
Feel a vibration in your steering wheel at highway speeds? That's not something to ignore, and a standard tire balance might not fix it. At G&H Tires and Service, they offer Road Force Balancing, an advanced system that simulates how your tire actually performs on the road to detect hidden issues. It goes beyond traditional balancing to reduce vibration, improve handling, and extend the life of your tires. Newer vehicles, especially with low-profile tires, demand this level of precision. Drive smoother. G&H Tires and Service on Beach Boulevard, where your ride gets dialed in right.
Bowden Iron Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
Lauren Brooks here. If you love your dad or husband, but their garage is a mess, well, I've got good news for you. Closets by Design's Father's Day sale is here. Imagine custom cabinets for tools and beach gear, storage walls that actually organize the chaos, and durable new garage flooring that makes the whole space feel brand new. It's the perfect gift for just about any dad. Right now, get 40% off plus an extra 15% off and free installation. Make an appointment today to see their garage showroom on Phillips Highway or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
Every day is game day on Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony break it down from every angle. Roster moves, matchups, league trends, and the pulse of Duval. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Summer and fall registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball, plus girls volleyball at UNF and Bishop Snyder. Fields and gyms all over the First Coast, including Fort Family Field. And the best thing is, I-9 Sports offers sports year-round, so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
College football isn't just a season, it's a sisterhood. Bold Ladies is the women's membership group of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, where community, connection, and college football come together. This is Stacy from 1010XL, and I enjoy my membership. From exclusive events to networking, philanthropy, and unforgettable game day experiences, Bold Ladies is where women make an impact. Visit TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com and join today.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom who got rear-ended last year. Tom McManus here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial pound law or check out forthepeople.com.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service,
Instant Keys comes to you. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
The weekend is almost here, and for many Knicks and Spurs fans, tonight is a massive game. Every game, obviously, in the NBA Finals, but it feels like if the Knicks go up 2-0 and then head back to the Garden, it feels like it's going to be a massive uphill climb for the Spurs. And when you have Victor Wembanyama, anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, both teams were obviously rusty shooting the football.
Football shooting.
Shooting that old football there in the hard court.
Did you see, by the way, Liam Cohen? Did y'all see the video of Liam Cohen and the players shooting?
He's got a good stroke.
Yeah.
He can nail him. Brenton Strange, too. A nice little shot.
BTJ, too?
Yeah.
There's a video that the Jaguars posted yesterday of a little just 3-point shooting contest that they had, and it looked like just to be like not team bonding, but team competition, really.
I'm sure a lot of guys played hoop too growing up.
Foye Oluokun, as we know, is obsessed with hoops, and I'm sure there are some guys that had to contemplate whether to play basketball or football in college, or maybe baseball, but
RJ, when we were talking a little bit about this yesterday, but taking Brunson and Wemby out of this, what player to you has to kind of step up into a bigger role tonight when it comes to the scoring with some of the issues from the last game?
Honestly, in my opinion, I would probably go just this interesting quote De'Aaron Fox made, where he said he's kind of diluted his game just a little bit for the betterment of the team. In the NBA Finals, I don't need you diluting a Gatorade. I mean,
as in he's passing more than he normally passes.
I guess he would say, hey, what I was doing in Sacramento, it's not being asked for here. I mean, let the freak flag fly, man. I mean, kind of let it go. I mean, if I was Wemby, I'd say, listen, I need you. On the other end, I think you need Karl Anthony Towns to, continue being the guy that he was in the 3 series prior to, where he's more of this playmaking big man, being able to open everything else up on the floor for you. And I understand he's kind of, the secondary star to Jalen Brunson. So if he was taken out of the equation for this exercise, Josh Hart needs to do a lot of the same thing that he did in game 1. I think a lot of what he's being asked to do, not all the time is it going to be labeled on the stat sheet, but when you look at what he did on film, or when you're watching what he did, he's everywhere out on the floor. So
it'll be hard to repeat that performance, I feel like.
It's Josh Hart. He'll surprise you. It's
not points wise, but everything.
No, you're right. Yeah, no. Josh Hart's that dude's a honey badger when it comes to like rebounding the basketball. I mean, it's just insane to see that a guy at 6'4", is getting double-digit rebounds in the game. I mean, it just shows how different the game is nowadays with guards and getting rebounds. But if he can knock down open shots, and if he can, get his little ass down there inside the paint and get rebounds, it's just kind of a long night. But I think San Antonio, I think they got punched in the mouth. Okay, we're here.
How do you respond? Yeah.
Now, how do you respond to it all? And I just don't think, Wemby, nor any of them for that matter, want to go down 0-2 going to New York, because that's going to be an absolute madhouse on Madison.
Yeah. I got to wonder how beat up Brunson is, too. You know?
That's adrenaline that carried him through.
Yeah, like he I bet you he was sore as the next day.
Had to
probably be. 2 days after.
Had to be.
You know what I mean? So I wonder how he's going to perform. If there's a game to lose, it's tonight for the Knicks, right? I mean, you don't want to lose any of them.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, if you give one up, I think you would probably say if you were Jalen Brunson in the post-game press conference, we did what we wanted to do, which was at least take one, from San Antonio in San Antonio. But yeah, I think that's something that you have to keep a close eye on in terms of how is he looking. Now, if I was a player on the floor, I think you probably do the same thing. You hear somebody have an ailment.
Oh yeah.
How good is that knee really?
Yeah.
How good is that ankle really?
And it's already a physical
totally.
game that we saw in game
I think with Wemby too, you got to try to rough him up. I mean, he's a tough guy, but you can get physical with him. I think.
I think like we talked about a couple of days ago. I think these refs are going to let a lot go.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Josh Hart. Every time the whistle blows, of course it's not a foul. On Josh Hart. Of course it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think the ticky-tack stuff is going to be like, I think they're still going to attack Wemby though. If we can get, if we can get these 2 quick fouls and he comes out the game, because I think it's obvious this game is completely different when Wemby's just not out there on the floor.
For sure.
Yeah, if you have Luke Cornett out there, I mean, if you're Karl Anthony Towns or any one of these guards, you're licking your chops. You're like, hey, the giant one's not in here. I mean, let's at least get 12 to 14 points in the paint if we can, especially if you're Karl Anthony Towns. So, certainly going to be an interesting chess match, I think, in game 2, because I really want to see what Mitch Johnson, who's also in his first NBA Finals as a head coach, what's he going to do in terms of game plan in game 2 as well.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, open gym for people who want more of this.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, open gym. We'll have Justin Finsterman. I believe that is how you pronounce his last name. A guy that's worked on Sirius with Mike Dempsey, and so Mike Dempsey referred me to him.
Nice.
And so we'll have him on. And then also a special one for me. So there's a new video game coming out, NBA The Run, and the guy who is being the on-court MC for the video game, who also emceed a previous video game over 20 years ago, NBA Street Volume 2, for anyone who used to love that video game. Bobito Garcia will be on the program, just talking about that game, cool. But also talking about just kind of, where he sees basketball today. I mean, he looks good for a guy who's 59. I mean, pause if needed, but I mean, for a guy who's 59 years old, and and still in the world of basketball the way he is, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. So to have the voice of, one of the more iconic video games that we've ever played, and now he's, coming back and doing this video game, which releases on the 9th. Pretty cool. So we'll have all that on Open Gym tomorrow.
I love it. I feel like Tom McManus on the basketball court would have also been like, "That's not a foul.
Yeah. I barely touched him.
I mean, come on,
I
ref."
mean, everything's not a foul. I mean, like, I'm sure for you guys out on the football field, come on.
It's not a
flag.
Yeah.
Flags weren't thrown that often.
No, right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It depends how you foul them.
Like I said,
sometimes
we'd
you
have
got
to play for the '90s Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, they scared everybody.
If I told you the story,
Bad
I fouled out in basketball when I was in, I think, like 7th or 8th grade, and I cried. I was so upset for fouling out. And that's when I was like, basketball is not the sport for me, because they are too ticky-tack. Even in freaking girls basketball back in the 90s. All right, I want to get it to Baker Mayfield. We talked about this off the air, but he's told reporters today that he and the Bucks are not anywhere near a new contract, not anywhere close, were his exact words, and it better be done before training camp because he's not going to negotiate in training camp. What do the Bucks do?
Well, they find a way to get him more money is what they do, or he's going to walk.
Because they went Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
He's making, he's on his 3rd year of that 3-year contract he signed at 24. It feels like it was yesterday, but it was 3 years ago.
That's so crazy.
Or this will be the 3rd season, so they got to figure it out. I mean,
I remember when he was playing college football, for crying out loud.
Yeah. They got to figure it out because he's like the 17th or 18th highest paid quarterback right now.
Okay.
And he's going to want a bump, and I don't blame him. So,
definitely.
Unless they're going to go a different route or,
Jake Browning is their backup.
I think you got to pay him. I don't like
Jake. I don't like to face Jake Browning.
Yeah.
So, Baker's at $33 million a year currently on his $100 million contract. You know who's also underpaid? Sam Darnold, who makes $33.5 million per year. His contract barely higher. But guys like Jared Goff, I mean, I can understand why Jared Goff maybe makes a little bit more than Baker Mayfield. Deshaun Watson, and we're going to throw that out because we all know that. Yep. Dak Prescott, who's better, Baker Mayfield or Dak Prescott? I'd say probably Baker, but
no, I wouldn't pay him more than Dak.
Okay, so Dak's making
I wouldn't personally
$60 million per year.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay him more than Dak. Dak's the highest right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it's tricky.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could. I mean, look, if you picked Baker Mayfield's, top quarterbacks, was he 8 maybe 10? You know what I mean? I mean, you'd pick a lot. You'd pick the big horses before him.
Well, let's do it. Who would you take over Baker Mayfield? Matthew Stafford.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know.
That one's hard.
I don't think I would right now, but that could change.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
Joe Burrow.
Yes.
Yes.
Justin Herbert.
I would not.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Brock Purdy.
No.
I would probably take Purdy. I think Purdy's solid.
You'd both take Purdy.
I would not
over.
take Purdy.
You would take.
I
you
would take
Baker
Purdy. I think
Mayfield.
Purdy's wicked good.
Patrick Mahomes, obviously, that's an easy one.
No.
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield?
Baker.
Baker.
That's a.
If you put Baker,
tough 101.
If Baker was on that Seattle team last year, I think it would have been. They would have been nasty.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers or Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield because of the age.
Rodgers out of here.
Caleb Williams or Baker Mayfield?
I think similar. Right now, I'd probably take Baker, but again, I think that could change quickly too.
With the youth. Jaden Daniels, Baker Mayfield.
Baker.
All right, so we're getting to the point where there were, 7? I didn't count them.
Yeah,
but probably like 7
around
or
that
so.
range, yeah.
So, yeah, he's
whatever that
not
number is.
paid
She's like, we're
a
getting to the point where you're not going to
Did
say
you ask
yes.
Goff?
to
What'd you say about Goff? Oh, he gets.
Yeah, I didn't say
Yeah, I'd probably take Goff
I'd take
over
Goff.
Baker.
Yeah, I'd take Goff.
That's an interesting one. They're totally different as
They're
far
very
as like
different.
attitude-wise and playing style-wise.
Yeah.
So that one's a little bit
I like
difficult.
Goff.
Yeah. Oh, Lamar Jackson. I didn't say
Lamar,
that.
I would take.
No, Lamar.
Yeah.
I'd take Lamar.
But it's
So
also
maybe around 10.
Yeah, whatever that number is.
I was going through and looking at how highly paid these quarterbacks are, and some of the ones that are like right below Baker Mayfield are really not that good.
Who's under Dak? I know Trevor's up there at 55 or whatever.
The highest paid quarterbacks that
Burrow's
goes in
up
order:
there.
Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, Jordan Love. I didn't even offer him Jordan Love or Baker. I think
No,
we'll all
Baker.
take Baker.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jared Goff. So Josh Allen and then all those ones I mentioned ahead of him are all at $55 million or above.
Okay.
That's where we've gotten quarterback salary wise. And then it goes Jared Goff 53, same with Brock Purdy 53, Justin Herbert 52.5, Lamar Jackson 52, Jalen Hurts 51. I didn't offer him up. Jalen Hurts or Baker Mayfield?
Baker.
that's
Yeah,
a hard one.
I would probably take Baker too.
I like Jalen, but I think that's a close one-on-one.
Yeah, I think
but I'd
that's
probably go
I like
Baker.
Baker's arm more.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
okay.
just passing-wise,
Yeah.
maybe.
So Jalen Hurts is making $51 million per year.
Yeah, so he's going to get a
Mahomes
nice
$45
bump.
million.
yeah.
Daniel Jones $44 million after that
He's
deal.
got to
and
get more
then
than that.
it
I mean, if
sits
you're
down.
Baker, you'd be like, you're comparing, right? So
Yeah.
where do you fit? Well, I think I'm better than these guys, so I'm probably around 53, 54 million, somewhere around there.
And your stats back it up. And you had a different or offensive coordinator, I should say, not coach, but offensive coordinator this year.
Yeah.
You were still successful. Now you're going to lose Mike Evans and still have to, ask to
Figure
be.
that out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you have weapons, so it's not like you'll still have good weapons to throw to, so you don't feel like there should be a crazy drop off. You're just going to have to figure. Obviously, the offensive coordinator didn't work last year, so you hope that hits again because the previous 2 years he had over 4,000 passing yards and was under that this last year. But
He's just 31.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker.
Yeah, Baker's just 31.
Yeah.
Like you
Good
think of
for
him
him.
as older because he's bounced around to so many different
right,
teams at
you
this
do.
point in time, but just 31.
Yeah.
The crazy looking at Jared Goff. So Jared Goff, obviously the Lions last year were 9-8. Jared Goff completed 68% of his
8%,
passes, 4,564 yards for 34 touchdowns and 8 picks.
Yeah.
Like that's a bad Jared Goff year. That's crazy.
Which
you
is
would take
a
that here
great
tomorrow.
year. Yeah, most teams.
Those numbers, yeah. And that's 4 straight years with over 4,400 yards.
He's a great
Yeah.
quarterback. Yeah,
And 29
I've always
touchdowns,
liked
30, 37, 34, and then 7 interceptions, 12, 12, and 8.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Especially with those touchdown numbers. You get in the 30s and throw
And
12.
completing 68, 70% of your passes.
That's what we need out of Trev, that
Yeah.
68%-ish.
Is there a
area.
chance that Sean McVay goes to, where did he go? Mexico, right? When he wooed Stafford.
Oh, yeah.
Goes to Mexico with Jared Goff.
It's like,
and
Jared,
says, I want you back.
Can you come back? I miss you.
I miss
When
you.
Stafford's over, I'd like you to
Yeah.
return. Obviously, Goff would never do that.
Yeah.
He's already talked about how
Like,
broken
no.
he was after, McVay
Yeah,
kicked him out.
Detroit loves him, too. Why would you
Oh,
ever
yeah.
leave?
Big time.
Absolutely.
I never have to
Dan
leave
Campbell's
that place.
guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. The golden moment awaits on the other side. It's a Friday, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Where summer sports talk rocks. Get the summer feeling on Jacksonville's summer station, 1010XL. It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, checked by Bowden Iron Associates.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Trust me, I know this. I've been dealing with Nimnik forever, and they really are that good. You know, for 3 generations, Nimnik's been the place customers keep coming back to. Customers like me, treating you right, giving the most back to our community, more choices and better prices. It's just the best place to buy cars, and I can promise you that. So who gives you the best experience when you're buying a car? Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Spring means wings. That's right. The Spring Wing Fest is happening right now at Bono's Barbecue. Frank Frangie here. Bono's wings are the best around, and now they've got 2 new flavors, garlic, parm, and lemon pepper. Head to Bono's today and get 6 wings and a side for $10.99 or a 10-wing basket for just $15.99. But hurry, the deal ends June 30th. To find the Bono's near you, head to bonosbarbq.com. That's bonosbarbq.com. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
First Tee North Florida's Summer Soiree returns Thursday, June 11th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Yards. This year's theme is Stars, Stripes, and Summer Nights. Bring the whole family for live music, games, raffles, activities for all ages, and great food. 1 food voucher included with every ticket, provided by Taco Lou. Adult tickets are $30. Kids 5 to 17 are $20, and kids under 5 are free. Upgrade to VIP for $60 with beer, wine, and liquor included. Get tickets now at firstteenorthflorida.org/events.
Hey, poker players! The Poker Atlas Tour is coming to Best Bet St. Augustine, June 18th to the 28th. The Poker Atlas Tour features 7 events, including the $600 no-limit hold'em title event with a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. And event number 1, a $300 no-limit hold'em with a $100,000 guarantee. For more details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
In Jacksonville, we love our sports. You might say we flip out over them. Football, baseball, soccer, hockey, basketball, golf, and there's our outdoor game, fishing, surfing, and just chilling. There's so much to do, it will make your head spin. But keep your cap on because Visit Jacksonville has you covered. Check out visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jacks app and stay on the ball for all the upcoming sports events in Jacks. Go local, go sports. Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate mascot and cultural ambassador.
Summer is a perfect time to have your garage floor coating installed. With our chemicals drying even faster in the warmer weather, it's a busy time for us, but we can still keep our prices surprisingly affordable.
And with 0% financing available, you can enjoy your floor now and pay for it later.
And Chester can enjoy his fancy British tea that I have to pay for.
I do enjoy a nice Darjeeling, Brendan, and the quality is important.
And at Checkmate, the highest quality is our minimum standard.
On flooring and tea.
Gorgeous garage floors?
Check. Perfect installation?
Check. Easy payment options that make your great new floor affordable? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment for today. We were talking earlier about John Sumrall and the Gators and kind of how already, and we said, you got to win the games on the football field, but he's definitely winning off the field right now, and that's a good start for a school that I feel like is starving for some wins again and to be talked about as the program that they were for so long. And I think the SEC in general is kind of in that boat when it comes to having you want Florida to be good, and that's just kind of what it is. But Lauren, I sent you this a little while ago, and I feel like we've had it on the rundown every day and never get to it. So I did want to read some of these because it is interesting because it was an article on CBS Sports, and they did the college football's 26 mind-blowing stats for 2026. And
blame the NFL for having too much news over the last 2 weeks.
College football's like, we're here, we're trying.
I know.
So I'll read a few of these because some of them just stood out to me. But Kirby Smart has more first-round picks, 21, than losses at Georgia.
Wow.
20 losses and 21 first-round
picks.
When
we were having the conversation, like, why would you pick Florida over Georgia? And look, obviously I love Gainesville and everything.
Yeah.
But football-wise, Georgia has dominated the last decade, basically, since Kirby Smart got there. I mean, Florida has won some games. I'm not saying they've lost every single one to Georgia over the last 10 years, but he knows how to create an NFL player. Now, his players might speed a little bit. So if you're...
a lot of it.
A lot. If you're worried about your son driving the car over a certain miles per hour, then you might not want to send him to Athens. But, I mean, he's built a close to a dynasty. Not quite yet, but certainly close.
He's getting there, And that's so obviously Monroe Freeling became Smart's 21st first rounder in April this last year, surpassing the total number of losses he's had between the hedges during his tenure so far at Georgia. So that one was interesting. Another one, which I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but Indiana hasn't lost a home game under Kurt Cignetti. He's 15-0 at home under Kurt.
You'll always see those the most difficult stadium to play in, those graphics, right, in the different stadiums, and then of course fans bicker back and forth about which stadium's the most difficult. But Indiana's never going to make that graphic yet. Over the last few years with Kurt Cignetti, it should.
Yeah, definitely should. By the way, 9 of those 15 are Big Ten opponents, and he's beaten them by an average of 33.3 points per game at home.
That's insane.
Wild.
That I would have lost money on.
Yeah.
An average of 33.3 points per game?
Yep, an average of 33.3
They must have had a really
Hoosiers
easy
went
schedule.
14 and 17 at Memorial Stadium over the previous 5 years combined, and now 15-0 under Cignetti. So that's a wild
the only ranked opponent that they beat at home in the last 2 years is Illinois. So, yeah, that does go to show you a little bit of an easier schedule. But it's probably because the Big Ten was like, oh, it's Indiana.
Yeah.
Little brother Indiana.
Yeah, they're like, and then now they're like, oh, maybe they're real.
Yeah.
Kalen DeBoer is college football's winningest active coach against top 25 opponents. He's 20-6 with a .769 win percentage. Alabama's third-year leader has always gotten the most out of his players against the best teams on his schedule. He won 4 straight games against ranked opponents last season prior to a 1-3 slip down the stretch, including a blowout loss to Indiana in the college football playoff. Smart at 42-17, and Ohio State's Ryan Day at 27-11 are close behind him.
Now, obviously, some of that comes from his time at Washington.
Yeah.
So that it's not just his time at Alabama to show that. But yeah, people rail against him, and it's because the standards are incredibly
so high at Alabama.
Correct. Yeah. And that's where I've seen a lot of people say that the reason Nick Saban is upset with the college football is because Alabama's not getting what Alabama wants. And that is they don't want the level playing field.
No. They want to win.
Right.
That's what they've done. They did for so long. And yeah, I mean, that's why we talk about it, but that's why Saban pieced out. He saw what this was turning into, and he's like, I'm going to get out of here before everything spirals that
I don't blame him
Bama's
as
on
far
board,
as
right?
the NIL and transfer portal. What'd you say?
Bama's on board with paying, not paying guys because they've always done that, but they're on board on the NIL and all that stuff. They full steam ahead, right?
But I can't imagine that Nick Saban would have wanted guys out of the transfer portal that often, right?
No,
Or
I
having
agree.
to re-recruit his own players.
I
That's
wouldn't
just not, I don't see Nick Saban groveling to a player that he coached last year, helped develop, and then being like, please stay, don't go to LSU.
Don't
go to Ohio
State.
State.
Bye. I'll find another 5-star. I don't care if you leave.
Exactly.
This one was interesting too. This is another coach that we've talked about a lot. I'm skipping the number 4 just because the next one I think is more interesting because we've talked about this in the sense of they haven't
Get
won
out of the way,
recently.
Iowa.
Yeah, sorry, we're not talking about Iowa here. Dabo Sweeney's 4 national championship game appearances are more than any active coach. Sweeney's run at Clemson will never be forgotten, even as the NIL and transfer portal era leveled the playing field a bit in recent years. At one point, Clemson's climb. The Tigers won 12 or more games for 5 consecutive seasons and finished inside the top 4 of the final rankings every year from 2015 through 2020. Both of Sweeney's national championship games against Saban and Alabama was a stretch that rivaled the ACC's best ever, previously displayed by Bowden and Florida State from 92 to 2000. That one's another.
I feel like we can't even put Dabo Sweeney in the same conversation
as Bobby Bowden. Yeah, definitely not. But I do think that's another coach where, like, the last few years, I'm like, is he on the hot seat? And every time I ask any college football person, they're like, no, he can't be, because, you know, the national championships kind of stand for themselves. And I'm like, yeah, but at what point are you like, you're not moving with the times of the transfer portal and you're not changing with the way the game's going and you're not winning football in a very winnable division? When does that conversation come up? But then this is the stat they'll throw right back at you.
Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. For all we say about Deshaun in the NFL.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson in college
was incredible.
and Trevor Lawrence would lead you to the national championship.
Yeah, but they were a lot like Alabama. They were getting their guys too, and then it evened out a little bit, you know. And all I can remember is Dabo crying this season, like complaining and moaning and groaning. Like, you say that, oh, he's got 4.5. Great, you know. I don't know. All I see is his bitching and moaning about the current state of affairs, like not doing anything about it. You know. I mean, they're still a great program.
You have to, yeah.
You gotta adapt.
Or if you don't want to, leave like Saban did. He's like, I don't want to do it, so I'm just going to go talk about the game instead.
Exactly. I'm going to go visit with the Senators. By the way, going back to our band conversation, couple people on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010, said you should play the cowbell. And then another one said, let me know if you need a cowbell.
More cowbell.
More cowbell is right.
That's right.
And also, Jalen Hurts gets no respect. He's a 2-time NFC champion and a Super Bowl champion. What has Baker done to deserve more other than his commercials, which do it?
I get it. I do think that there's a weird kind of stigma around Jalen Hurts because I think the defense was so insane that a lot of people are like, okay, and they ran the ball so much, and so he does. I feel like a lot of people do kind of discredit him in a lot of ways, but that year when they won the Super Bowl, he did exactly what he needed to do. And
he was great that year.
There's just always a little bit of drama, and you never know. Like, is it Nick Sirianni? Is it Jalen Hurts? Was it just AJ Brown, who's now gone?
Like you said with Sam Darnold, you know, what if you put Baker in that Philadelphia offense? How would he perform? He probably performed pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So I think player to player, I would say he's a better player, but you can't deny the success that Jalen's had.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of these other ones literally are just like Bill Belichick's old, pretty much. It's like Bill Belichick is the nation's oldest coach at 74 and could join a lead company with a historic season. And I'm like, okay, let's relax on that a little bit.
Yeah, no, I love the crazy college football stats. So like Taylor said, it's on CBSSports.com if you want to go and read more about it. If you're wondering if Florida made it into the discussion, Florida State, like we talked about, did, and then Florida did not. So no mention.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk. The next one's more Georgia, but then it's like then the AP poll era. This one's interesting. In the AP poll era, 9 SEC and 9 Big Ten programs have won conference titles. Competitive balance abounds. However, since the college football playoff began in 2014, each of these leagues has a clear top tier, followed by teams in contention with the middle and bottom filling out the schedule. Alabama or Georgia has won 11 of the last 12 SEC championships. That's crazy. With LSU in 2019 being the only outlier. There's been a bit more parity in the Big Ten over that stretch thanks to recent surge from Oregon and Indiana. 6 programs have won league titles in the college football era, led by Ohio State 6 crowns and Michigan's 3. So Alabama and Georgia 11 of 12.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me that. By the way, how young do you think the youngest college football coach is? So we talked about Belichick being the oldest at 74. How old do you think the youngest head coach is in college football?
All of college football. I'm going to say.
Or at least D1. That's what I know about.
24.
Okay.
I did not see this on here. I don't know. I'd probably say 26.
Okay, 35.
Oh,
the youngest is 35. FAU's Zach Kitley is the youngest at the age of,
really?
He'll turn 35 3 weeks before the Owls open at Florida. I hope he gets a terrible birthday present there in the swamp.
Which is Joe Brady's the youngest in the NFL at 36. So
wow, that's wild.
It is.
Yeah,
crazy.
I would think like, I was thinking like a smaller school would catch a GA.
Yeah, somebody really younger. That's what I was picturing.
Catch a GA.
catch the right GA. You got the goods.
Yeah.
Be our head coach.
All right. The best of the day is on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Prosser here. When I'm doing home improvements, I like to deal with a local company, and I found one for windows and doors, Cash Building Material. They've been doing business in Jacksonville for 70 years, and with their experienced window and door specialists, you'll get no subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. Get a quote today. Thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Materials. Windows and doors done right.
Bowden Iron Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Get ready for PGA Tour champions to return to Hammock Beach Golf Resort and Spa for the 2026 Constellation Furyk and Friends, October 9th to 11th.
Hey everyone, this is Jim Furyk. Join us this fall for world-class golf, incredible food, live music, and an unforgettable weekend on the iconic Ocean Course.
Plus, don't miss country music star Billy Currington live at the Furyk Foundation concert on Friday, October 9th. For tickets and info, visit ConstellationFurykandFriends.com.
Hey, Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here, and don't wait for that first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems in high winds. Armstrong Fence Company handles repairs and builds from stadiums to backyards. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search online. It's the Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I want to thank our friends from Dailies for sponsoring our Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic, June 8th at Deer Creek Country Club. Now get this. For every fried chicken sandwich sold between now and then, Dailies will donate $1 to Walk-Off. That's right, for every single fried chicken sandwich sold between now and then, you help a young person in the community play baseball. So head to Dailies today and grab one of those delicious fried chicken sandwiches. And we'll see you at the Dailies Walk-Off Golf Classic, June 8th. Dailies. It's nicer here.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. Big Chief Tire makes getting new tires easier than ever with the Big Chief credit card. There's no annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, even $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything at Big Chief Tire. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and let Big Chief help you get back on the road with confidence.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. How would you describe the typical engagement ring customer that comes in your store?
Frank, at Underwoods, we often see customers who've shopped around and are totally confused about how to select a diamond. Now, they're looking for somebody qualified who'll tell them the truth and they can trust. They've heard about certification on diamonds, wholesale diamonds, internet diamonds, deals that a friend of a friend can get them, and the prices will range from unbelievably low to unbelievably high. One of the reasons for the confusion is if you look at the factors of grading a diamond, after you know the carat weight, there are 11 grades for cut, 21 grades for color, 11 grades for clarity, so you got 2,541 different possibilities, each with a different price. That's where Underwoods helps straighten out the confusion, because we have the American Gem Society credentialed professionals that'll guide a customer the right diamond for them. One she'll be happy with for the rest of her life.
Underwoods, where customers are served with quality and respect. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
One segment to go before we turn it over to the lead. Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. All right, so the pest of the day today is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. They do a great job. I bet you saw no pests whatsoever last night, or termites at ViStar Ballpark. They do a great job there, as well as ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, all of your favorite event venues around town. But to me, the pest of the day today is going to be the ESPN list of Sports Illustrated list of the triplets that were put out. I know you and Tony Smith talked about it earlier on Jaguars Today, Tom. But yeah, the Jaguars come in 22nd for their triplets, which would be quarterback, running back, wide receiver, Trevor Lawrence, Bashal Tutin, and Jacoby Myers. They put as the number one. The Jaguars have a good offense led by one of the league's top minds in Liam Cohen, but there are questions about the star power. Lawrence was excellent as the year wore on, throwing 15 touchdowns against 1 interception over his final 6 regular season games. However, ETN's loss means Tutin becomes a starter. In a supporting role last year, he rushed for 307 yards on 3.7 yards per clip. Outside, Myers is a terrific player alongside Parker Washington and Brian Thomas Jr., but can any of them become a clear top-tier wideout?
Yeah.
Interesting that he picked Jacoby.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I do think he'll lead the team in receptions, maybe not yards, but I think he'll be that kind of production. I saw, and then what's crazy is, so Houston's at 12, I think. All right, so just for a second, you got C.J. Stroud,
14.
David Montgomery.
Yeah, they're at 14.
Or are they 14?
Yep.
C.J. Stroud, David Montgomery, and Nico Collins.
Yes.
And then we've got Trevor, Tutin, and then Jacoby. I mean, Trevor over the quarterback, right? I hands down to me, I'm taking Trevor over C.J. Stroud. I'm taking Montgomery over Tutin because we just don't know enough about Tutin yet. Maybe he's a phenomenal workhorse, home run hitting back. It'd be great. Then we may, switch that. And then, I don't know, Nico, I think Nico Collins is a hell of a football player, but I think Jacoby's I think they kind of wash each other out. So right there, like, how can one be 14 and one be 22 when they're that close? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so to me, I don't know, that list is like,
Use
but
it
at
as
the
fuel,
same
though.
time,
Use it as fuel.
Tutin's the...
Yeah. What I would
caveat.
probably say is this person probably says that CJ Stroud and Trevor are similar, is probably what it is. The conversation is probably both quarterbacks have had good moments and bad moments and great moments and terrible moments, and you don't really know. CJ Stroud's a little younger, so Trevor's a little farther in the career.
He said, we're putting our faith in Stroud, who, despite playing with porous offensive lines for much of his first 3 years, helped the Texans to divisional round each year.
And that's what my guess is. They probably are saying they're pretty close. David Montgomery, they're probably saying, is a good bit better than the running backs and what you know of too. And then Nico Collins personally is one of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL, and I think a lot of people kind of sit in that too. I mean, 3 straight years with over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns. That's kind of just the world he lives in. Even when with an offense that hasn't been that good, you're still eclipsing 1,000 in the last couple seasons. And so that to me, it probably gives them an edge in that sense. But I am shocked it's that different. Like I could see them being like 17, 18, and the Jags being 22, 23 or something like that. But it does feel like a big discrepancy when it does feel like when it comes to the one that feels the biggest difference is the running back.
It's Matt Verderame, by the way, from Sports Illustrated, who wrote the list. So if people want to go read it.
If you look just numbers alone, I mean, Trevor crushes Stroud last year.
Yeah.
So I get it should be a little bit closer. Let's put it that way. But I'm surprised that they're that high and we're that low. But I think a lot of it is Tutin. You just don't know if we have a running game or not. We feel like it's going to be interesting. But if you don't really watch or pay attention or really look at, you like, who's Tutin?
Yeah.
He had 3 good runs in the wild card game. That's all I know about the kid. You know what I mean? Other than that, you don't know that much about him. Yeah. So he could turn out to be the ace. You know what I mean? If he's the ace, then you move up that number, that chart.
Absolutely. All right, let's say hello to the lead.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes of the Jaguars triplets, running back, wide receiver, 1, whoever that is, and quarterback, are they 22nd in the NFL? And by the way, this guy has Jacoby Myers as wide receiver 1.
See, they're never going to rank high in that kind of thing
Right.
because the beauty of their offense is its diversification. So, I mean, yeah, that probably seems right. because Jacoby Myers isn't a star. He's not Megatron by any stretch of the imagination. Very good player. Yeah, the running back position is kind of an unknown. And then they're going with Trevor, right? It's quarterback, running back, receiver. Yeah. So, I mean,
not Joey Aguilar.
Well, I didn't know if it's tight end,
like
running
tight
back,
end,
receiver. I haven't seen the piece, but yeah, I mean, 22nd off the top, I would think that's fair. But again, I think if you did it from looking at the groups in their totality, and you were able to use Brian Thomas Jr. and Brenton Strange and Parker Washington, and then I think they'd be much higher.
Yeah, for
and I've seen other graphics like putting the Jags in the top as far as the receiving core.
Yeah.
And obviously Travis Hunter being included as well. Yeah, look, I think you could put Parker Washington or you could put Brian Thomas Jr. in there, and I don't know if it changes the list that much.
That's the thing. I mean, how many teams have an interchangeable 1, 2, and 3?
Right.
And that doesn't include a guy that is an extraordinary talent that is going to play somewhat at receiver. So it's, that's the thing. It's the beauty of the Jaguars is the balance, not so much the star wattage at the top and then really no middle class. It's just like stars and then, a lower class kind of player. I mean, this is more, okay, yeah, they don't have Jettas, but they've got really quality players across the board. And it's going to be fun to see how defensive coordinators try and stop them and what they emphasize and things like that. So we'll talk Jaguars coming up on the lead. Ryan wrote a really good column about Parker Washington. So we'll get into Parker's story and also kind of what his contract situation could look like in light of the London deal and the Watson deal that we saw earlier this week. Mark Long will join us to talk Gators and Jags at 5:15. Kai Stevens will join us around 4:35 to talk Jaguars. And we'll do a fun segment in our second segment. We're going to do a 32-team Super League for college football. So you got to stick. We've been tasked to stick to the NFL model. So only 32 teams can make it, and we're just going to draft and go around the board. So
he's just speaking magic.
It's going to be a lot of cutting. I mean, that's sort of that's going to be the fun. Is if Congress mandated, okay, this is what we're doing, but it's 32 teams. That's it. How would it look like?
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, it should be fun. So all that coming up on the lead.
Who did mandate the 32 teams? Congress?
Well, it was me that came up with it. But yeah, I mean, for the purpose, yeah,
hypothetically,
sure. Yeah.
yes.
Hypothetically, yeah.
I like it. All right, thanks, Hayes. We shall be listening. All right, that'll do it for us. Great week, everybody. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday, but don't go anywhere. The lead is next.